I don't think you have to be a genius to be a lawyer. Like, I don't think that there needs to be this high barrier of entry where people feel like, oh, well, maybe I'm not smart enough to be a lawyer. I hear that from some high school students, right? You're 17 and you've already decided that you're not smart enough to be a lawyer. I mean, that's crazy. Because they're like, well, I don't test well, or you have to get the mentality, you have to get straight A's to go to law school. Lawyers just read well. They just read well, and these are taught skills, and they learn how to write well. But I think if you apply yourself and you learn those skills, you too can be a great lawyer. And to be honest, I know that I have seen some terrible lawyers. I have seen some terrible, I'm like, how did you pass the bar? You're such a bad lawyer. And yet we have hardworking, determined students who feel like they can't enter this profession because of all the barriers. And that just makes me angry.
Yeah, and here's the problem. I mean, as we said, the bar exam, right? So is the bar exam reflecting what you would do as a lawyer, what makes a good lawyer? If it doesn't, you got to change the bar exam. If you change the bar exam, then you should change law school as well. Right. Now, the reason the LSAT is considered valid and reliable is that it represents how you could do in first year law school grades. There's some correlation there. It doesn't represent entirely, of course. So if you change law school and you change the bar exam, then maybe you could change the LSAT a little bit as well. Now, I happen to think the LSAT's a great exam, but maybe it should get a little bit less weighting in the admission process overall than it does. I certainly think it should get less weighting, yet I still think it's a great exam. So those things may seem contradictory. I don't necessarily see them that way, but no question to me that law school and the bar exam do need to change. And law schools are slowly becoming aware of that as they see that a lot of their grads graduate not knowing how to be a lawyer. And law firms certainly notice that too.
I didn't know anything about being a lawyer. And for me, I felt like the bar exam was just testing. Well, first off, it was testing my typing speed. I type real fast, which is such an advantage and a silly advantage because no one really talks about this. But, in all of the essay questions, the more that you can type, generally speaking, the better your answers. If you type really slowly, you're not going to be able to get as much information. And that is actually such a huge, that's a huge deal. That really affects your score on something so arbitrary. And then you're memorizing all the stuff that honestly, I cannot tell you anything that I learned on the bar exam. I'm a family law attorney. I know family law. I learned a few things on the bar exam, but most of it I memorized, I took the test, and I dumped. Because you can't keep all of that knowledge in your head forever.
No. And so, I mean, you're seeing it right there. You're seeing it right there that much of what you did in law school ended up not even mattering for you.
Yeah. I mean, law school was a lot more, because I could take courses that were in the type of law that I wanted to do, was a lot more valuable than the bar exam. The bar exam to me was just how much money can you spend on bar prep? And do you also have the luxury of going 3 months without working? Because that's a huge deal. Because they say you have to study 8 hours a day, which obviously means you can't be working 8 hours a day. There's so much privilege wrapped up into even your ability to bar prep.
And that's part of why if you removed the bar exam or changed a bit and focused more on apprenticeship as a model, then you could work while you were learning by doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then the notion that if I move, I have to take the bar exam again. Why? I haven't become a worse lawyer.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.